Does anyone care anymore? Usually when I make a review, I try to have some grand point or reason for making it, and I do have 3 of those videos that I'm currently working on, but that shit takes time, and I feel like doing something now, so... Sony's second attempt at reviving a franchise that people stopped caring about 3 decades ago, and compared to their last attempt, it can't really get any worse. But is it any better? Yeah, I guess. But that doesn't make it perfect, far from it. Because as soon as the movie began, there were issues that continued to bother me throughout the entire movie. For example... the opening scene of this movie shouldn't have made it into the final cut of the film. It would have been better without it. A bit of context for those who may not have seen it. The main plot of this movie is about these characters trying to find out what exactly happened to their grandfather before he died. Not an inherently bad premise. However, we as an audience already know exactly what happened to him because we were shown it right at the start of the movie. So the whole time, whenever someone discovers something about what happens, it's not interesting because you already know what the movie is trying to reveal. Wouldn't it have been so much more interesting if as an audience we learned about the events of what happened at the same time as the characters? Then I might have actually cared about the information as it was being revealed. Because instead of just being told something that you already knew, you would be sat there trying to piece together for yourself, figuring out what happened, just like the main characters. The only other major issue that I have with this movie is something that I was already expecting before I'd even sat down in the cinema, and yet I still never would have imagined that it would be this bad. The obvious and pandering nostalgia bait. All you had to do was watch the trailer to know that something like this was gonna happen. I mean, you didn't even need to watch the trailer. If you knew this movie was coming out, you knew they were gonna try and fucking milk that nostalgia cow. What the fuck did I just say? I go off script once and I come out with milk that nostalgia cow. But my fucking god, every single scene in this entire movie has some reference to the original Ghostbusters. At first I didn't mind it, but the more the movie keeps doing it, the more annoying it just becomes. Remember the Ghostbusters
Remember
car?
this thing?
Remember
Pro
the Trap?
Trap?
Remember Harold
Remember
Ramis?
the
Remember
original
this
theme
woman?
song?
Remember the
Remember
jumpsuit?
all the original
Remember the
cars?
camera?
Remember
the
the
tire?
the
Remember
mask?
the
Remember the
fire
fire
pole?
Something strange in your neighborhood.
So overall, there are things to enjoy about this movie. Like I said earlier, the concept itself isn't bad, even though they were clearly just trying to copy Stranger Things and It. But when the movie was released, I was actually quite shocked to see that nobody cares. The gap between the original movie and this one is nearly 40 years, and the best they could do is still below average in terms of quality. Maybe it's just about time Sony finally gave up on this franchise that is so clearly dead.